Alright, it's Sebastian. How's it going? Good evening. Alright, evening, sir. I didn't expect to meet you here. Same, I haven't talked for a while. True, why don't we meet up someday? Give me a call when I'm off the clock. You should still have my number. Sure thing. But why did they assign you here? I have to look after this room. As you know, Damien was killed by Reza and Anna is in the hospital. From what I overheard, while guarding the place, she won't be returning either. So until the council finds the replacements, local police forces have been assigned to guard the place. We can't take any chances with the PDA's security. Okay, must be pretty boring. You get used to it. Good call on Reza case, by the way. He would have gotten away if not for you, Maverick and Anna. It's a shame about Maverick, though. It wasn't your fault. I've read the report and the testimonies. Maverick tried to capture Reza alive and make him answer for his crimes, else he would have gone for the neck. And he paid dearly for it. That compassion got him headshotted. He was a good officer, no matter what the others may say. He was harsh, but he believed in justice above all else. But I'm glad you two made it out alive. He saved the world. That too. So, why are you here? I've got this warrant to access the PDAs I've delivered. You know, the one thing you're guarding, I'm taking it. Sure, come on in. That was easy. Do you require any assistance? I'll be fine, cheers. Okay. Inside the facility room, I quickly located where the PDAs were stored. After managing to access the computer, I found out that the Dragons apparently had already developed a way to read and transfer data between our devices and theirs. It was just a matter of finding the right files and information. Do you mind having some small talk? Any time for you, buddy. No problem, just don't ask too many questions, I'm a little bit busy. Yeah, I won't. Sebastian's a cool dude. Since the festival night, I've been thinking, what if you hadn't convinced me to watch the fireworks? Maybe I would have been able to stop Reza before he got his hands on the generator. Yeah, Maverick would have been alive now. Reza had a gun, and he was good at sneaking around. He probably would have shot you before you even saw him. True, he didn't have to worry about being heard. The fireworks would have concealed the sounds of gunshots. Yeah, Sebastian totally would get killed if he was there. And he didn't hesitate to kill anyone in his way. If I hadn't gone to watch the fireworks, I probably would have died that night. We'll never know. Except that we do, but yeah. Actually, I had those nightmares about being killed on that exact spot. They looked so real too, even the fireworks were there. But those dreams stopped once Reza's case was resolved. You might have saved my life, thanks. And even though it was supposed to be the other way around originally. Quite ironic, isn't it? I just think it's funny. After checking several devices, I found the one with the medical and biological archives. Our scientists back home did great work assembling and organising all the data. I couldn't help but feel guilty using their labour for my own goals. They did all this work in hopes to get the generators that we needed so badly. But now there's no way to help them. I decided that after Anna would be cured, I would head back into the past and try and set things right. I only hoped she would understand my decision. Finding the needed information proved quite trivial with my knowledge of both biology and computers. The data for the cure was right there, and the methods of its production didn't look too complex for Dragons to use. I copied all the required files on the portable data carrier and put the PDAs back into the proper storage container. What were you looking for? Classified. Something for the ministry. Medical data. Something for the ministry. I don't know. If you don't want to tell the truth, it's fine. You have the official warrant, that's all I care about. Nah, I don't want to be like that. I like Sebastian, I trust this dude. Let's be upfront. Medical data. Rewind. Trying to save Anna. Yep. How did you know? The time of your arrival indicates this is more of a personal visit rather than official business. On my first day guarding this room, I found a letter about a cancer treatment plan. Our medicine can't cure it. Naturally, you've decided to use human knowledge archives, which are far more advanced than ours. So your motives for accessing medical data are pretty obvious considering her predicament. Remind me never to play poker with you. What's poker? It's a human card game. Actually, you should show me one day. Yeah, we're like card playing buddies. Okay, but no playing for actual money. I don't want to end up broke. How about at our next meeting? Sounds good. It was nice to see you again, but I've got to go. It's getting dark outside. Take care. Later, Sebastian. Emma stuck true to her word. I don't know what she did, who she called, or what connections she had to use, but she succeeded. On the very same evening, I got a call from the local hospital, which confirmed that they were going to prepare the test batch for the cure. I was thankful that it didn't require any of the advanced industry only humanity had during pre-flare days, like nanomachines or cybernetics. It was just the right mix of advanced surgery methods and some organic medicine used to specifically hunt down and eradicate cancerous cells and carcinogenic agents. The substance was easy to synthesize when the recipe was known, but extremely hard to discover and get right during research. The doctors said it would be ready by tomorrow noon, that they'd need Anna's permission to perform the operation. I had no illusions, and knew how risky it was to apply human medicine to a dragoness. That 10% of the genetic difference could be the decisive factor. Still, this way she had a chance. Got some news for you. Go ahead. I doubt it will change a single thing. Well, let's see about that, shall we? It just might. Really now, excuse me if my imminent death gets in the way of my excitement. Remember when I told you that humans know how to cure cancer? What good is it gonna do? You can't smuggle me there. You can't ask them for it. You can't do anything. The cure might as well not exist. Yesterday, I paid a visit to the production facility and extracted the medical data from one of our PDAs. Your people now have that very cure. This isn't the time for your stupid jokes. I'm not joking. The doctors are preparing for it as we speak, both the medication and the equipment. They only need your permission to go through with it. Do they really have to ask if I want to be saved? The cure is extremely experimental and unsafe. Truth be told, it's a direct copy of the human one with almost no changes to it. You're the first dragon that they're going to try it on. So yes, they have to ask if you're okay with the experiment. How ironic. After all of these years of research and doing tests on others, I've become a test subject myself for somebody else. You said you enjoy all sorts of new experiences. Maybe not this one specifically. It might be pretty scary indeed when I think about it. I'm not afraid. What's the worst that can happen if it fails? I'll die. I'm going to die anyway. But with the cure, maybe I won't have to. So, I'll take that as a yes then. Of course it is. This is my chance, and I'm going to take it. I'll go let the doctors know then. They should be ready to begin soon. Wait. I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again. This might be our last meeting. So, could you tell me something? Of course. Why? Why what? You never told me why you did all of this for me. I carefully took her thin hand into mine and gave it a gentle squeeze. It's because I care. And because I want to see you well again. Some person you chose to save. Every life is worth saving, if I can help it. I can't even imagine how you managed to get all of this approved in one evening. I didn't. It's a long story for another time. I'll tell you after the operation. Optimistic to the end, aren't you? Of course I am. Oh, that image again. Please stop showing me this image. As I turned to leave, she called out to me again. Yo, yo, what's up? Thank you for putting up with me all this time. Whatever happens to me today, I will not forget you. Words catch in my throat. I only managed a fragile smile before having to turn my face away. Soon, a group of medical personnel took Anna to the surgery ward. I, on the other hand, was now stuck waiting in the corridor. The bench wasn't all too comfy, but it sure beat standing for hours. Always making me wait and worry, aren't you, Anna? It was well into the evening when one of the doctors left the ward and headed toward me. His unreadable expression made my heart freeze. I tried my best to brace for the worst as he approached. My only comfort was the thought that, at least, I'd tried. The doctor then smiled and said that Anna's prognosis had improved dramatically after the treatment. It would take some time to be sure, but from the initial observations, the cure was working. He admitted it baffled the whole medical community, how something from a different world could be so effective when applied to their biology as well. I knew exactly how, but they didn't have to. Anna needed rest after the operation, so I decided to go back to my apartment. A tiny bit of doubt and concern still lingered in my mind when I thought about possible complications, but my heart felt much lighter. The next morning started with a phone call from the ministry secretary. They requested my presence at the portal immediately. The tone of their voice, as well as the urgency, made me nervous. I wondered if they found out what Izumi had done. Maybe it was time for them to know the truth. As I was about to leave, I found a small note sticking out from underneath my main door. It was scribbled in a hurry, but the handwriting looked eerily familiar. Okay, what is the note? The rest is not up to you. Don't try to return to the past, or else you will die. Stay where you are. This is for your own good. You should be thankful that you're still alive. A threat? They knew about the time travel. They knew about the return coordinates Izumi had installed, and they knew that I wanted to go back somehow. It made no sense. Only one person alive beside me had ever had the chance to overhear anything related to it, and that was Anna. But she couldn't possibly have left the hospital ward. Izumi was confirmed dead by the investigation team on the day we stopped Reza. None of this connected in any way in my mind. Yet it was not the time to analyse the note. I left it on the table for later and headed out. Okay, that's really weird. Okay, so who summoned me here? There was a whole delegation waiting for me at the portal, and they seemed way too anxious, which further fueled my own concerns. Apparently, there was a huge background investigation of the Reza incident that was going on for the last few months. As a part of it, they'd recently inspected the portal and its terminal. Of course, they found out that the human world coordinates were gone. What it meant for me and my status in the end remained to be seen, however. Good day, Ambassador. Yo, what's up, Emera? I'm afraid I have some terrible news. We're unable to reach your world anymore because the coordinates are gone. That means we won't be able to uphold our end of the deal until this problem has been solved. Yet as you know, we don't possess the knowledge or means to do so. Does that mean I'm stuck here for the rest of my life? Yeah, I'm afraid so. Can I see the portal's terminal? I believe that would be okay. I wasn't surprised to find the coordinates to the human world deleted. I already knew it was the case long ago, but something else shook me to the core. What? Someone had already used my full biometric data to travel back to the day of my arrival. Not only that, but Izumi had set up everything in a way to prevent repeated use. The moment that person went through, the system automatically deleted the coordinates, thus locking me out from using that path to try and fix everything. Now I was truly stuck in this timeline. But the only person who could have used those coordinates had to be me, unless they had a perfect copy of my eyes and fingerprints, and knew how to use the biometric scanner. Was it me from another timeline? I remembered the note. The handwriting didn't look familiar. It was mine, albeit heavily distorted. That meant what I saw before me wasn't the first timeline. My other self had been around the whole time, watching from the shadows. There has to be a good reason why the other me had never interfered or tried to prevent everything before Reza went rogue. So many questions were left, and so many answers I'd never get. I could only be sure about one thing. My other self knew something I didn't, and acted on it. Eventually, I managed to access the logs out of pure curiosity. According to them, the portal was used last night. What was I waiting for this whole time? Did you find anything? No, I don't think I can fix this. I see. Then I'm afraid we'll have to revoke your ambassador status. There's no longer a way to contact your people, and one will most likely never be re-established. Okay, I understand. However, to recognise your service to our world, you're allowed to keep your apartment with everything in it and become a full citizen if that's what you wish. Okay, so that's a much better offer than I expected. I thought I'd be given a small room in some dorm and a strong motivational speech to find my place in the world. So it was a pleasant surprise to receive some real aid. I'll take your offer, thank you. Very well, you'll be notified when your papers are ready. Before that, however, you'll need to come with us to settle some formalities. Okay, are we a dragon now? We're part of the dragon people. Nothing could have prepared me for the amount of paperwork I faced that day. I had to visit cabinet after cabinet, fill up many forms, some of which obviously weren't designed for a traveller from another world. It reminded me a lot of the paperwork our governments used to put people through. The soda flare had put an end to most of these practices though. By the time I was finally finished, the life of a rightless hobo had started to look like a decent alternative to the bureaucratic nightmare I had to endure. We are a citizen.